Welcome to the SmileLine podcast. The purpose of this podcast is to give real information from doctors and patients about our SmileLine prosthetic and the sequence of appointments. For more information, check out our website or give our office a call. Hope you enjoy today's episode. All right, guys, welcome back to the SmileLine podcast. I'm here with Dr. Maddie. We just finished up in the general clinic. Thought it was a good time for a podcast, a little get-to-know-you session with you. We've been at the office now for about a year and 2 months in the clinic, right? When did you start?
A little bit in May, mostly in June.
Yeah, so June of last year.
Yep.
So if you haven't been in the clinic since then, you might not be familiar with her. But yeah, she's running the general clinic. She's also doing some full arch surgeries as well. You're kind of getting the full taste, right?
Oh, yeah. Both sides. Everything. Love it.
Yeah, there's no slowly building in. It's just jump right in, right?
You have to. That's the best way.
Yep. So I wanted to touch a little bit on your background. So you had quite the journey. You've kind of always been associated with Huntline in a manner of sorts. So yeah, where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Columbia, so not too far from where we're at. But yeah, I basically in college, I had the opportunity to join a lab that was closely associated with Huntline, and that's how I met Sam in the first place. That was probably 7-8 years ago, so I feel like I've kind of been slowly working my way in since then. But yeah, just kind of built from there.
Yeah. So when you were with Trademark, was that whenever Trademark was at Huntline, or was that when they were at their Ashland location?
No, so they hadn't even moved to Ashland yet. They were still in Columbia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but yeah, they were coming to Westphalia to Huntline for working there, obviously. And I would come probably a couple times a week, even while I was in college, and I would watch surgeries, and I would also help in the lab and do those kinds of things. And then, as my time in college kind of came to a close, Sam was like, hey, just kind of like let me know, after dental school if you're, wanting a job. And I was like, yeah, whatever, not going to happen. But I kept in contact with him all throughout dental school. We talked a lot, and I knew exactly where I wanted to be, and here I am.
Yeah, so you went to school in Kirksville, right?
Yes, for dental school we did, I went to A.T. Still University. So we did our first 2 years in Kirksville, where there's absolutely nothing to do, and we could really focus up. And then our last 2 years of clinicals were in St. Louis, so split campus.
Yeah, so were you the first graduating class from A.T. Still?
No, the first graduating class from A.T. Still was in 2013.
Okay, wow, so they've been around a lot longer.
Yep, so 10 years later.
Gotcha.
Graduating
So yeah, then you graduated and came straight to Huntline, right? Did you have any other offers? Do you consider anywhere else?
I considered a couple other places. However, I love being close to my family. All my family lives, in or near Columbia for the most part, or in Jeff. And so just living a life without those people, I couldn't do. Had to end up here. This is what I wanted.
Yeah. So what made you want to become a dentist in the first place?
$1 million question. I would say, I don't know, I think I was in 9th grade when we had to kind of go through this what do you want to do kind of thing. And I had just gotten my braces off, and I decided that I was going to go shadow them for a day or, whatever. And I was able to kind of see the doctor part of it, the assistant part of it, and, also all of the art that goes into the lab work and just dentistry in general. And I've pretty much been sold since then.
Awesome. And you've enjoyed your time at Huntline so far? You're not getting ready to leave us, are you?
Absolutely not. No, I have told many a people that you guys will have to drag me out kicking and screaming. I'm not going anywhere.
That's good because we got you booked.
Perfect. Love it. Yep. Always accepting new patients.
Yeah, that's right. So what's your favorite part of being a dentist?
My favorite part of being a dentist is probably the part that is also the hardest. It's definitely the interaction with patients and just getting to know people for like the longevity of however long they're at the practice. So it's not just a one and done, I've seen you 1 or 2 times. For the most part, it's, hey, I need care regularly. And just the patient interaction is my favorite part. Yeah, I mean, I love the dentistry too. But
Yeah, those relationships you get to build there. I mean, it's quite the relationship, even though you're usually only seeing people twice a year, which sounds like not very often.
It doesn't sound like a lot, but it feels like more.
Yeah, those 6 months fly by.
Yeah, they really do.
Yeah.
And it's really cool because now, since I have been here for, over a year, I feel like I'm really getting to know people, and people are starting to realize, like, oh, you're not going anywhere. Maybe you're going to be here for a minute. So I get to talk to a lot of people. It just feels like more than 2 times a year.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. I hear that from a lot of new patients that come in. I handle most of the consults.
Mm-hmm.
So these people have usually been to a lot of different clinics. And one thing I always hear is like, I just see a new dentist every time I come in. Like I see a new dentist. They don't know what's going on. They don't know what was treatment plan. And so we have to start over. And it's like, they're just frustrated with it.
For sure. I would be the same way. That's what's really cool with just having, for right now, 2 doctors, because I can, if I have a question about a patient's treatment plan or history or, this or that, Sam and I share an office, so we're constantly bouncing ideas off of each other, talking about, well, this is why I thought about this, and, just kind of feeding into that has been, number one, really helpful for me, and then also, obviously, very helpful for patients' treatment plans.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. We love seeing you in the building. Now, to kind of switch directions, what's some advice you have for patients that want to, that are general clinic patients, they want to save their teeth and take care of them? What's some advice from, a doctor on the best way to take care of them?
The most important thing for people that want to keep their teeth are to obviously come to the dentist every 6 months, right?
Yeah, we got some guests that just walked in, as in my 2 kids. Hi, Grayson. He's 6, just got back from kindergarten.
He's enjoying some blueberries over there.
Yeah, and it sounds like some kind of crackers with a wrapper. And then we got Miles on the floor in his car seat, 5 months old. So sorry about any abnormal noises that come into the audio here. We'll try to stay focused. No, that cracker was mine. Oh, okay.
It was definitely his fault, for sure.
Yeah. All right. So back to advice for general clinic patients wanting to take care of their teeth, and what's the best way for that?
Yeah. So I always say that there's a difference between brushing your teeth and then effectively brushing your teeth. And just caring about that difference and wanting to learn more about how to take care of your teeth is obviously going to help you keep your teeth and keep your teeth healthy, because that's also, there's a difference there as well. But obviously coming to the dentist every 6 months, learning those differences, understanding maybe whenever you're a higher risk patient, that's going to change how you take care of your teeth and maybe different things that you have to do. Flossing is so underrated. People don't understand that flossing and brushing are 2 completely different things. They take care of your mouth in different ways. And everything is important, but flossing is really important.
So you can't just do one or the other then, right?
I wouldn't suggest it. No. Yeah. And also, just kind of, building off of that, there's a lot of patients that need to use like a water pick of sorts. And I will also always say that that's not a replacement for floss. That is an aid to flossing. So just using all the things are going to help you keep your teeth healthy.
Yeah. And those are things that they don't teach you in school. There's not really many learning mechanisms out there besides visiting your local dentist and, hey, can you guys give me some pointers here? What do I need to do? Because, we love when people keep their teeth. There's nothing as good as what God gave you, healthy, natural teeth.
That's right.
But we also do a whole lot of cases whenever the mouth is broken down and we replace them. Mm-hmm. So we see both ends of the spectrum. And I hear it a lot in consults, like, they're just, patients are like, yeah, I just never knew how to take care of them. So go see Dr. Maddie, and she will give you some advice on how to take care of those teeth.
We just need to talk a little bit.
That's right.
All it takes.
All right. Now, how about some advice for those patients that are maybe at a crossroads? They've been struggling with their teeth, or they're struggling to eat, a lot of pain, a lot of ongoing issues. What do you have advice for them of like, hey, I got a big decision coming up? What would you tell those patients?
Most importantly, I would say be informed and just, again, kind of understanding your risk factors. Let's say you have, a whole head of teeth that doesn't necessarily mean that you should keep them if you're kind of at that crossroads. Mainly because, if you have a bunch of risk factors, dry mouth, you're on a lot of medications that contribute to dry mouth. Maybe we don't have the best habits, and maybe we're not interested in trying to change that at 65 years old or something like that. Just kind of understanding like all those things, plus really dedicating yourself to, okay, I'm ready to get rid of my teeth. I'm ready to do this process. And then just finding people that you trust to lead you in that process as well.
So what is one common misconception in the dentistry field or about dentists that you experience a lot?
Like from a patient's perspective?
Yeah.
Well, I think that people hear the word doctor and they think, oh, they just want to make money. That is not true. It's not that we don't want to make money, but at Huntline especially, we're not trying to spend your money. We always say this. We don't want to spend your money in the wrong direction. So a big misconception is they're just going to tell me what the most expensive thing is, and that's it. And that's just not true. Maybe your best treatment option is a little bit more expensive, but we will tell you that, and we can tell you all these other options that you have, and then try to lead you in the right direction. But ultimately, patient's decision. But I would say that's the biggest misconception for dentists and doctors in general, I feel like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and one step further, even at Huntline, I can say, like, I see the pricing sheets and so forth, and I always compare them to the national averages, and I always have these discussions with Sam. It's, we have the constant discussion, our prices, right, and so forth. And he has always instructed me, it's always been like, hey, let's keep our prices fair, but, like, I want to be below the national average to a sense of where, like, I can give this patient the best treatment available, and they don't feel like I'm trying to get them for all they're worth. Like, mm-hmm. Hey, I want to make this a fair price, but I want them to accept the best treatment that's best for them.
Yep, for sure. And that is true across both the surgery clinic and the general clinic. Like, I'll say it again. I say it all the time. Like, we want you to choose an option that is truly best for you, that you're going to be able to manage at home and make all the right decisions. We just want you to be informed with those decisions, and just not spend your money in the wrong direction. I say it a lot, and I know Sam says it.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
Yep. So, general clinic, we've been seeing a lot of new patients in the office, haven't we?
Yes.
A lot of new patients.
Always accepting new patients. Always trying to get people in for, maybe a problem-focused area, something like that. I feel like we're pretty good at getting in a lot of people that are in pain and treating them pretty quickly. Would you say that's fair?
I think it's one of the highlights of our general clinic is it's the ability to accept new patients. We have a large capacity now because, you're down there. We didn't have that when it was just Dr. Sam. But the other thing is, our willingness to get patients in and consistently treat them. Mm-hmm. I hear it a lot from other patients that they're like, hey, I got a toothache. You're the third office I've called. I'm on a wait list. They said it was going to be 3 or 4 weeks before I get in. They're like, what can I do to come in?
Yeah.
And I'm like, can you be here in an hour?
Yeah, exactly. We have a lot of people in our office that just truly want to help people. And I feel like most of the time we're able to do same-day treatment. It's not always. Sometimes there's a jam-packed schedule and we just physically don't have the bodies to do it. But if there is an option for me to do that, I'm like, let me see the schedule really quick. Let me see if I can make it work. And just kind of having to just make sure that patients understand, like, hey, you might have to wait just a minute, but we will get to you.
Yeah, that's awesome. So we're accepting new patients. If you need to be seen on a limited basis, whether it be in pain or anything like that, give us a call. It's likely we're able to get you in the schedule pretty quick. So we got some quick hitting questions here for Dr. Maddie. Going to get to know her a little better. What is your favorite color?
Green.
Green. I thought it was blue. Surprising.
I like all the colors.
Yeah. Do you have any pets?
I do. I have one dog, Australian Shepherd, Oakley. He's the cutest in the world.
Yeah. Favorite food?
Pasta.
Pasta. I love pasta.
Of any kind.
Yeah. If you had to pick one superpower, what would it be?
Invisible.
Why?
Hands down. Because why would you want to be seen?
You want to stalk people?
Maybe. Maybe.
Maybe you just want someone to see you on their team so they just don't bump you right into you.
Yeah, that's right. I can just travel with the ball and just get there before anyone can see me.
Yeah. I didn't see you play Ask the Audience card there. That's good.
That's okay. I love the feedback.
Favorite coworker?
Sam.
You sure?
Yeah.
If a patient wanted to make small talk with you in the chair, what subject should they bring up to intrigue you?
Dogs.
Okay.
100%.
5-year goals?
Or food. 5-year goal. Be a better dentist. Try to continually get better, and also have a family, large family.
Yeah. Okay. Give me a pet peeve of yours.
Chewing with your mouth open.
Oh.
I think I have misophonia, and I just can't stand noises at all.
Gotcha. That's a good one. If you had to turn into an animal, what would it be?
Squirrel.
Squirrel.
I don't know.
Why is that?
You told me this was rapid fire, and
Okay.
that is what came to my head.
Okay. Unbiased opinion. If you're a new patient out there, where should they come?
Huntline.
Huntline Dental?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably.
That's a pretty good place. I heard a lot of good things about
I've
it.
heard a lot of good, and they have a lot of like podcasts and like online stuff going on, so you can like figure out what's going on before you actually get there.
Yeah, that's right. All right. So we'll just end it right there, guys. Thank you, Dr. Maddie, for taking the time out of your evening coming on the podcast. And yeah, we'll be back with another one shortly.